Welcome back to It's Kind of a Big Deal. Today we're recording episode number 13. And I'm Jenna Horton and this is Olivia Bundy.
Okay, today we're going to talk about budgeting in the holidays.
It's almost Christmas.
It is almost Christmas, and I think it seems a little bit early, but I know within our family, even at Thanksgiving, we draw our names and set our budgets for our gift giving for Christmas.
Okay.
Which I think is a good thing because it gives you lots of time to think about it.
Yeah.
Jen and I were discussing on the way in this morning. I think something that's important about budgeting, no matter what budget you set or how many gifts you're buying, is to not procrastinate.
Yeah, by getting a head start, like it's still November right now when we're recording this, but by getting a head start, it's giving you enough time to prepare, have conversations, look for sales.
Also, you're spreading out the amount of money that you're spending over a bigger period of time.
Yeah, like if you get paid bi-weekly, then you still have a few pays, 2 to 3 paychecks probably before Christmas.
Yeah, my sister's been shopping for the kids for like months now.
Right, I think parents are like that.
Yeah. Which I think it's also, my love language is definitely not gift giving.
Right.
So it's easy.
I can't relate.
Yeah, it's easy for me to say like, I only have one singular gift that I'll have to buy. And then with the Schemans, we do an ornament.
You know what? I actually have none. Like I don't have to buy any gifts.
Yeah, but how many gifts will you be buying?
Will I buy? Well, I might get you and Maddie little treaty treats.
No treats.
Just a little something.
I hate gifts.
Well, then fine. She's off the list.
Yeah, strike me right off the list.
Stroke right off. You know what she's getting? A big fat piece of coal.
Yeah. Yeah, since I don't have many gifts to buy, you can stretch it out and you can be more intentional, I think, about the gift that you're buying.
Yeah.
I always bully Maddie because when we were kids, she was such a last minute shopper.
No.
She would go to Shoppers Drug Mart and buy everyone's gifts like the night before.
Like, what are you getting? Some lotion and
like
toothpaste?
lotion, razors, toothpaste.
Right, and so my dad was the exact same way. I have vivid memories. Every Christmas Eve, it was like tradition. We'd be going to Sears at the mall when it was still open.
Yep.
And Cordog would be bringing us through there to try to find pajamas and slippers for mom every single year.
Yeah.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, so your options are so limited.
Yeah.
It stresses yourself out for no reason.
Exactly.
That's funny.
And the holidays can already be a stressful time for some people. And so imagine if you're already like a week before Christmas and all your gifts are purchased, wrapped, cards are done, and you're just going into the holiday season with ease.
Yeah, and I think it's so important to have conversations about budgets with people.
Yeah.
So if you are someone that you're like, okay, we're going to buy gifts for each other this year, because it is nice to have like a gift maybe to open on Christmas. If you are going to buy gifts with someone, set a budget.
Absolutely.
Which I think is way more common now.
I think
than it ever was before.
Yes, and I think that having those conversations is going to take away some of the awkward feelings that like you're not sure how much they're spending, and what if they spend $500 and you spend $50 and you're like, oh shit, I really
like what's the gift vibe?
Yeah,
and I think the budget, like receiving a gift, is just as important as receiving a $500 gift.
Yes,
right?
I agree with you.
We are doing $50 this year for adults in our family. So you have one person you have to spend $50 on.
And I think that's reasonable.
It's reasonable.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard because it doesn't go very far.
Right, but you have to be more thoughtful.
You have to be more thoughtful. You can't just buy a bunch of random stuff because you only have $50 to spend.
Yeah.
So
an example of that, last Christmas, Matt and I had only been seeing each other for a few months at that point. And so it was kind of like that early stage of relationship. You're like, are we doing gifts or are we not? And if so, how much are we spending? So it might sound silly to people, but we set a $20 limit. And it was like, let's just get each other one nice little thing. So we were going to spend Christmas morning together. And it was great. It was really, really thoughtful.
Yeah.
I like that. And then last year as well, Maddie and I did Christmas gifts. And so at that point, like we were both, I guess, I don't know if I should say single, but didn't really have spouses that were buying for us. And it was nice because then we did a Christmas morning together as well and exchanged gifts. But we were very intentional with our budgets and set that out ahead of time.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's, and like traditions are great too. Like with the Schemans, we do a handmade ornament.
I love that.
It has to be handmade.
Like, you make it yourself?
Nope, doesn't have to be handmade by you.
Okay, but you can't buy it at Target?
Yes.
Okay.
So, like, Danica made the little...
pottery.
hand-painted one for Kai. And we do names, so you only have one ornament to buy.
Right.
Aaron hand-painted his the
He's
evening
such an
of
artist. Oh.
on Christmas Eve.
Love it.
But he got her done and it was stunning.
So that's another thing too, is like talking to your family, and maybe it's more of a DIY. Like I was thinking about that, and so I don't know what at Father's Day we talked about doing a gift for was it Father's Day?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like washing their car.
Yes, yes. Or maybe it's like you make them their favorite meal,
Yeah.
or you make breakfast in bed on Christmas morning, or something like you make a baked good and you bring it to your loved ones.
Well, and I guess it depends. Like for me, my love language is acts of service. So like I would much rather you come over to my house if you're thinking of gifts and do some chores, like there's wood to be split, or do some painting, cleaning, instead of a gift,
right?
Because that's what's important to me.
Okay, so I guess evaluating the love languages of the people in your life might be a good way to go about the holidays as well.
Yeah, and even for birthdays, like I don't buy gifts. For my friends for their birthdays, I would much rather take them out for a lunch, take them out for a drink.
Yeah.
Because to me, that's like a double whammy. It's an excuse to like spend some one-on-one time with someone where when we're getting older, that doesn't happen as often with all of your friends. And also, an opportunity to make someone feel special.
Yeah, exactly. And birthday gifts, when you have so many friends in your adult life, like it gets out of hand if you're going to buy somebody a gift for every birthday. Yep. But I think a nice handwritten card, it costs like $3 to buy a card. And then you write a nice personal message in there. And then I think that means a lot more to the person.
Yeah, if Jenna's your friend, she'll write you a card that's this long.
You might not be able to read it because my handwriting is so bad, but I did it from the heart. So that's what matters. Yes,
that's what matters.
Yes.
And my card had a hairless cat on it this year, which is great.
And it said send nudes.
Yes, send nudes.
I think too, that same thing, like going out for lunch for a birthday, could also translate well into the holidays. That instead of getting somebody a gift, just maybe it's sharing an experience and going for a walk over the holidays, or you go to a local brewery or something and have a drink.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And then let's talk about kids, because I think that the experience for kids at Christmas can vary so much.
Yes.
And we were talking on the way here, like you don't remember what you got for I remember some of the gifts that I got when I was a kid.
But at what age did you start remembering that?
Well, I remember gifts that have stuck around.
Oh,
so I think like my snowboard that I still use to this day.
Okay.
I probably got for like my 6th birthday.
Have you grown since then?
Yes, it was this much too tall for me then, and now it's this much too short for me.
Okay, balance.
But it is something that I used for a very long time. So I think that thinking about something that's going to stick around for kids is important.
So something quality, I think.
And I remember every single year that my parents surprised us, and the only thing underneath the tree was like a trip to Disney. Which like obviously blows the budget in this day and age.
Yes.
But anytime we went on a trip, like that is a birthday gift or a Christmas gift that I will not forget.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be Disney.
Right. And then that's something too that parents can maybe be budgeting for all year round.
Yep.
Saving a little bit each month and then giving that to their kids.
Yeah, like you could even take them to a water park, which would probably be like...
Kids love hotel pools.
Yes.
You could spend $300 to go to the Holiday Inn in Sarnia, if it even costs that much.
Yeah.
And throw them in the pool and they will go nuts.
We used to always go to the Holiday Inn right across the border that had the huge water slide. Like,
Such a fun experience for a kid that they're going to remember more than the Paw Patrol toy that you're going to get them, and it'll be donated to Goodwill by next Christmas.
This year for my birthday, you were there for the second round that I did this, but I also love like cheesy talking points. Okay. And I think this is a good way to share the feeling that you get when you receive a gift without having to give a gift. Okay. So like at Thanksgiving, the Schemin started this because like we stand in a circle and we hold hands and we share something that we're thankful for.
That's the most Schemin thing I've ever heard.
It's ridiculous.
But I
love it.
You know, I would love that.
I love it.
Yeah.
So like the first year that Aaron and I were together, I wasn't even there for Thanksgiving yet. And when they went around the circle and it came to Aaron said, Olivia and I are pregnant.
But they weren't.
But we weren't.
Just to make sure that nobody...
Yeah. So so this year on my birthday, I went around the circle and I said, okay, everyone has to share one thing that they love about me. And you know what Bowen said? He said, going to the store with you.
Oh.
Because we go to the Goodwill and he gets to pick out a toy.
Yeah.
And that toy, whether it came from Walmart or it came from the Goodwill, in the package that like takes Dad 300 years to untie, means the exact same amount to him.
That's a really good point.
So bypass the store and just go to the Goodwill.
Yes.
And you can pick up toys for like he is so excited when I buy him a Spider-Man toy from the Goodwill. That's literally
and they don't know.
$1. They don't know.
I think too, if you're instilling that from a very young age, like Bowie's 3, he's going to be less likely to want a toy that's wrapped from the Walmart packaging when he's 10. He won't understand because it'll be the same.
And he gets to go and pick it out.
That's amazing. And that's an experience that he's going to remember with Auntie Liv versus just getting a toy at Christmas.
And he gets to spend time. You know what I mean? He gets to spend time and he gets to spend money and he gets to pick it out. So even when I've been going to kids' birthday parties, I've been giving them a Dollarama gift card.
Oh, fun.
For like $10.
And they can go nuts.
So then they feel like they have their own card and they get to go to the dollar store and pick out the little toys that they want.
That's a great idea. Wow. I love it.
I know I'm very good at gift giving.
Yes.
But yeah, that's another great thing to do too, right? Like if you're feeling like the exchange of gifts, you're missing out on that, is like sit in a circle, hold hands, optional, and share something that you were proud of yourself that you did that year or that you're proud of that someone else did.
Right.
You know, just like creating that like...
Yes, that conversation. And like sometimes, like I know for my family, we're not overly affectionate people. And a lot of the time, like we're not very close. And so that might strengthen the bond within your family if you're having these types of conversations or spark different things that you can talk to people about.
Yeah. And
maybe it's even like like not New Year's resolutions, but talking about a goal that you have for the new year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be like if you're not comfortable saying things about each other, it can be something personal as well that you're sharing, right? Which brings people closer together.
Yeah, and celebrating each other. I love that.
It's also so funny to hear what kids say.
True. And it's a really good thing for them to be practicing, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I had no idea what he was going to say.
Right. If he even said anything.
Yeah.
Like he might have just
Randy was just like, goo goo gaga. I was like, yay.
Yeah. Still happy.
Yeah, still happy.
I love that.
But yeah, I think that that's something that you can do as well. And just creating... You know, even if you're at this stage in your life and you don't have a tradition that you do, thinking outside the box and being like, okay, do we want to exchange an ornament? Do we want to do the, you know, the old school like gift exchange, like everyone brings the gifts and wraps it and you pass it around the circle.
And then setting a budget for that. Yeah, absolutely. I think something too, like with our friend group, we do pajama exchange sometimes.
Yep.
Or slippers or something like that. So that's nice
something
and easy.
useful is important and affordable.
Yeah. But going back to starting early and being able to look for sales, if you don't want to get a used gift, then, and you need to buy something that's new at a store, I think Black Friday's coming up this week, next week. So it's a good time to get something on sale. And that doesn't only go for gifts, but also for food. So turkey dinner can be expensive if that's what you're into. Obviously not for Liv as a vegetarian, but
I still gotta buy one.
Still gotta buy one. Okay, So all these things add up, and then you get to Christmas and you have a $500 grocery bill. So buying these things, put it in the freezer, and making sure they're prepared without blowing the budget right at Christmas.
Yeah, and like being realistic. Like I remember the one year that we hosted the Ski and Christmas, Aaron got like multiple kegs and like
oh my gosh,
like all of this stuff that we probably still have half of it. So like, you know, set a realistic expectation. Like I know you want to be well prepared when the family comes over, but like is Uncle Dave doing a keg stand?
Probably not. Corn dog? Maybe.
Maybe.
So yeah, it is exciting to host. And like, I'm even guilty of this. Like, I want to buy all the fun decorations and make sure my house is beautiful and the beautiful napkins. But like, come on, you're still going to have a good time with your family. Just make sure that you're thinking about your future self and your financial freedom that we're working towards as we head into this holiday season.